I normally do my previews 2 days before the game, just so I can get a as close to possible update on the injury report. Well, something's going on. What is up, Finn fans? Welcome to another preview video. We are getting so close, so very close to the end of the season, and it sucks. I'm really sad that we have 3 games left, and then that's it. Season's over after this one. Sucks, really sucks. But we are going to be breaking down the Miami Dolphins taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday Night Football. And like I said in my intro, I normally do these preview videos. So like the Dolphins play Sunday, I do a preview on Friday. The Dolphins play on Monday, I do a preview on Saturday. The Dolphins play on Thursday, I do a preview on Tuesday. But as you're watching this, I am at the hospital with my wife and my son is on the way. So I'm going to be crazy busy Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Sorry, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, I will be live. I might even make a late night video Sunday talking about who won, who lost. I can't guarantee that because, again, I will have a 3-day-old. And in advance, I appreciate all the, congratulations, the best wishes, all that stuff. Comment below. I love you all. Thank you all for the support. Thank you all for subscribing and helping me do this and helping me support my family and now my 2 children. You all are amazing. So that is why, you'll see the injury report and it doesn't look as in depth or as great because I am doing this a day early. So we're going to look at the injury report. We're going to look at the breakdown. I got some stats on the breakdown. We're also going to look at the weather, obviously. PFF. We're going to look at the sleeper more or lesses, get into the 5 things, and I'm going to give you my prediction, as well as talk about Tua Tagovailoa in the cold. But I will get to that. At this point, it doesn't really matter because you're looking at what Tua is really doing. So let's jump into the injury report. And again, it's going to look a little different because it's only one day. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger for you guys. So we have 2 did not practices from Caleb Johnson and Elijah Campbell. Outside of that, you got limited from, Devon Achane. He hurt his ribs against the Jets. You have the long snapper. He's dealing with a hamstring. Rasul Douglas with a foot. Fatu Milifanu, a thumb and a groin. Andrew Meyer, a tricep. Chop Robinson, an oblique. And Darren Waller gets a rest day. Outside of that, everyone is full practice. And again, this is not the one where you should really take much from it, being that they will practice tomorrow or today. They will practice today, and you'll get a better idea today. Again, I am making this Thursday night because at this point I'm in the hospital. But I'm not really worried about the Miami Dolphins injury report. It's nothing really crazy there. Elijah Campbell, if he doesn't play, really does hurt the special teams. And you saw what happened against the Jets, but the Jets also do have a very good special teams. Then you look at the Steelers here. I'll make this a little bit bigger. A bunch of did not practices. So Ben Skowronek, he's got a hand. He did not practice. James Pierre, their cornerback, did not practice with a calf. Andrews Pete with a concussion. He didn't practice. TJ Watt, I will read a little thing from the Steelers about that one. That popped up out of nowhere. That's a little crazy. And Derek Harmon, their rookie, with a knee. He did not practice. He got limited from Malik Harrison and Darnell Washington, both with concussions. But the fact that they're limited means they're further along in that concussion protocol. Everyone else is a full practice, so there's nothing to see there. But yes, TJ Watt all of a sudden popped up on a tweet yesterday. For you today, for me. This is from the Steelers. TJ Watt is currently in a local hospital for further medical evaluation of his lung after expressing discomfort at the practice facility on Wednesday. He will not be at practice on Thursday. Today for me, yesterday for you. And his status for Monday's night game versus Miami is in question. Coach Tomlin will provide more updates at the appropriate time. So he is dealing with somewhat of a lung issue, which again, super scary. Hopefully he's all right. At the end of the day, football's football. It doesn't really matter as long as that man is okay. So now let's look at the weather. And I'm gonna share screen with you guys. And as you can see here, this is Pittsburgh. Let me scroll up so I could show you that I'm looking at Pittsburgh. Oh, there you go. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, right here. This is Monday. Now, Monday night, 14 degrees, low of 14, 5 to 10 mile an hour winds. Again, the sun sets at 4:54. So it's going to be cold. It's going to be a brutal, brutal cold game. And one of those games that, as a Miami Dolphin team, a team that practices in this heat and the humidity and everything, like you saw how it took a toll on Buffalo when they came down here. Josh Allen was red in the face, looked like he was going to puke at some point. The cold will also take effect on these warm teams like the Jaguars, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Miami Dolphins, the New Orleans Saints. You know, any of these warm weather teams, you're going up there and playing 14 degree weather, it's going to take an effect on the team. So we'll see how it does. Again, we'll get into my 5 things the Dolphins have to do. But as of right now, it is going to be an absolute cold one. Let's get into the breakdown. Now, we'll start with the defense here. You see the Miami Dolphins defense, a huge jump. And I'm going to talk about the jump after, I go off of each of these. Miami Dolphins now have the 19th total defense, facing the 27th total offense with the Pittsburgh Steelers. 12th in passing, facing the 23rd in passing. 25th rush defense, again, not great, but better than 32nd. Facing the 29th rush offense. I thought the Steelers had a better run game going. Scoring-wise, the Miami Dolphins are 15th, only allowing 22.8 points per game. Facing the 14th scoring offense, 23.7 points per game. The Dolphins are 15th, getting 31 sacks. They jumped up drastically after that Jets game where they got 6 sacks. So this is the highest that Anthony Weaver has had this defense in sacks. Last year, they ended at 27th. We are facing the 8th best offense, only allowing 22 sacks. We have the 16th best third down defense, 38.8% conversion rate, facing the 14th best third down offense, converting 40%. And then we are 10th now in the NFL with 17 turnovers, facing the 11th best offense, only getting 14 turnovers away. Now, again, I want to talk about this. You saw those crazy numbers. You saw like, oh, look how high they are, da, 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 da. Last week, before facing the New York Jets, we had the 23rd total defense. We now have the 19th. We had the 15th best pass defense. We now have the 12th. We went from having the 29th rush defense to the 25th. When it came to sacks, we were 21st in the NFL. 21st in the NFL. We are now 15th. 15th in the NFL because we got 6 sacks on that day. And takeaways, we were 15th with 14 takeaways. We are now 10th with 17. So again, facing bad teams will most definitely help your record and your standings as a team. And that's what facing that Jets offense did for the Miami Dolphins defense when we were just completely destroying an undrafted rookie quarterback. Now looking at, and some other things to look at. Since week 8, the Miami Dolphins are 7th in run defense, only allowing 100 yards per game. We are number 1 in points since week 10, allowing only 13.3 points per game. Red zone, we are number 1 since week 10, 22.2% conversion rate. And third down since week 10, we are third, 30.8. So again, facing bad teams definitely is a little bit of a stat patter for this team and many teams. And again, I'm not gonna poo-poo what the New England Patriots are doing, but they're facing some bad teams. That's all I'm going to say. They're facing some bad teams, but they're taking advantage of the teams that are in front of them. Can't really knock them for that, or knock Drake May for taking advantage of the teams in front of them. Keep doing your thing. hopefully you continue with your success. Now looking at the Miami Dolphins offense, we are 25th in total offense, facing the 28th total defense. We are 28th in passing, not great. That went down drastically. Facing the 28th passing defense, we are 8th now in rushing. That shot up, especially with Devon HN going off. Facing the 21st ranked rush defense, 22nd in scoring, facing the 19th scoring defense. We are 14th in sacks allowed, 28, facing the 6th best sack defense with 36 sacks. But again, they most likely will be without TJ Watt, so we'll see how that pans out for them. Third down defense, we are 25th. That dropped drastically from like week 5. It went horribly downhill. Facing the 27th third down defense, which bodes well for Miami. 23rd in turnovers, 18, and they are second getting 23 turnovers. So again, the defense is kind of iffy in certain aspects of it, but better in others. So now we will get to my favorite, your favorite. My voice is back, so I can sing PFFF. Not 100% back, but I am a little bit back. This is the Miami Dolphins offense facing the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Now, as you can see here, they have a good amount of players on this defense, right? Cam Hayward, Herbig, Pierre. Let me change their defense to look like I got Ramsey at safety. Ramsey at safety. Jeez Louise. Ramsey said he didn't want to play safety for us. That was one reason why he didn't want to be here. I don't think it's the biggest one, but it's one reason. So as you can see here, there's no TJ on here because, again, with his lung injury, there's a big question mark if he's going to play. But you look at this front. Again, they are, 6th or whatever in sacks. That's going to be dangerous here. How are these guys up front going to be able to take on this is going to be interesting. Somebody has to step up besides Jalen Waddle. Is it Waddle and Achane, right? Your 1-2 punches on offense. You take away Waller, which how many teams have been, doubling? You put Joey Porter Jr. and you put Ramsey over top with it, and then you got we're facing a good defense with a good secondary, with a good front. Their linebackers, as you see PFF ranking them low, but they're still a formidable defense. You look at the stats that I talked about, and it's like 29th in this and 24th in this, blah, blah, blah. They're still a good defense. They're playing at home, and they're playing in the cold. So this Dolphin offense, especially Tua Tagovailoa, has to play on their best. Westbrook-Ikhine, don't play him. We talked about this on the collective. Depending on how many snaps he gets, the Miami Dolphins can still get a 4th, if that, for Javon Holland. Just stop playing him. He hasn't been doing anything. Get somebody else out there, whether it's Taj Washington, whether it's Cedric Wilson Jr., whether it's D. Estridge. Just take Westbrook-Ikhine out of there at this point because he has no connection with Tua, and these other guys definitely do. So I would just not even play Westbrook-Ikhine and try and throw the lottery ticket in there and see if we can get lucky and get a 4th comp for Javon Holland. But this is where it's scary. This is where it's scary right here. Now, their run defense, as you saw, wasn't great, but getting after the quarterback is really good. So what is the Dolphins going to do here? How are they going to protect? Is it going to be those instant block sheds and all that stuff? So we will see. And then you flip it around, you look at the Dolphins defense versus their offense. Offensive line is good, especially in that middle there with Frazier and McCormick and all that stuff. Freiermuth. They do have Jonnu Smith. I was gonna call him Jonah Hill because that's where my brain's at. Gainwell, again, not high on the running. DK Metcalf scares the crap out of me. Hopefully Rasul Douglas can continue his high success against these receivers. Their receivers aren't great and scary outside of DK. Obviously, they were trying to trade for how many different receivers before the trade deadline. And Rodgers is up there in age, right? So you look at this game, it's these guys up front. We need better out of them. We need them to play at their top tippity top tippity top in this game. So we'll see how that all plans out. But now we are gonna talk about the 5 things that the Miami Dolphins need to do if they want to beat this Pittsburgh Steelers team on Monday Night Football. Nope, I'm sorry. I jumped ahead. We are actually going to talk about PFF. And we are not PFF, Sleeper. And I'm going to go with some over-under, see how that kind of gives us an idea. Now, as you can see here, let's go to NFL. Look at all these promos they got going on here. Super easy. They got one going on right now. New user promo, get up to $100. Pick a promo to use. Very easy to use. Now, we're going to look at the Dolphins, which is going to scroll all the way to the end. And this over-under is going to be very interesting. So they got Aaron Rodgers at 210. They have Tua Tagovailoa at 195. I'm going to take the under at Tua at 195. We're not a pass-happy team anymore. So with that 198.5, I'm going to take the under. Tua even came out and said, I don't care. As long as we win, it don't matter to me. So I'm going to take the under on that one. I'll take the over on the 210 from Aaron Rodgers, though, because from what I saw there, run game isn't that crazy. They got Adam Thielen there. Again, like I said, they're very thirsty at wide receiver. So what are they going to do? So the longest reception, 10.5 yards. I take the less on that one. Jalen Waddle, 21.5 longest reception. I take the less on that one. I'll get into it when I get to my 5 things. Darren Waller, anytime touchdown. Nope. I take the less on that. This is going to be a crazy game. It's going to definitely be a crazy game. Greg Dulcich, take the over on the 18.5 receiving yards. But it's super fun, super easy to use. Go check them out. Shout out to Sleeper. Now, let's get into what we all want to talk about. I don't know if we all want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. It's the 5 things that the Miami Dolphins need to do if they want to beat this Pittsburgh Steelers team on Monday night in the frigid cold in Pittsburgh, enemy territory. It's like a while from me. I think Philly's like an hour and a half from me. So Pittsburgh's like 5. But yeah, it's, I'm not going most important, least important. It's kind of just like 1 to 5, what I was thinking of while I was doing my research and all that stuff. So let's get into this. Number 1 should be the most important. You got to run the ball. You got to run the ball, especially in this situation where you are playing in frigid, cold weather. Tua Tagovailoa, everyone likes to talk about the fact that, his stats when it comes to the cold and all that stuff. And Tua's been playing bad. He honestly has been playing bad these past few weeks. Keep their offense off the field. Don't really want to stick with trying to force feed it to, certain players, all that stuff. So just run the ball, stick with what's been working, stick with the guys, also rotate them, but run the ball. Number 2 on my list, run the ball. I can't reference this enough, how important it is for Mike McDaniel to stick to running the ball. When you look at the rushing attempts and the yardage versus our win versus loss record, it is crucial that the Miami Dolphins just run the ball. Stick with running the ball and continue to do it. Your offensive line thrives at running the ball. It is 2 different worlds when you're pass blocking and you're run blocking. Pass blocking, you're more playing defensively, you're more, up, and then you're not attacking necessarily. You're waiting for them to come to you so you can move them. Whereas running, as soon as that ball snaps, as an offensive lineman, you are in attack mode. And we got some big boys that love to attack, especially on the left side with Jonah, with Patrick Paul. Big boys love to attack. Run the ball. Now, you might think to yourself, he's going to say it again. No, we got to stop the run. You don't want them doing the same thing to us. You don't want them to keep our offense on the field or have our defense get tired. We want to make them one-dimensional. Aaron Rodgers is no spring chicken anymore, but he's still not very mobile, but he's mobile for his age. So you definitely want to make them a one-dimensional offense. You can have our guys pin their ears back. We are facing a team that doesn't give up a lot of sacks, nor do they really kind of commit turnovers. So you want to be able to have, okay, we know what they're going to be doing. They can't run it on us. Have Brooks keep continuing to eat. Have Dotson continue to have a good year. Have the rookies up there in Biggers, in Phillips, in Grant continue. Have that beautiful rotation and those young guys get in there, do their thing. stop the run. Again, make them one-dimensional. My number 4 thing on this list, we're talking about running the ball. We're talking about running the ball again. We're talking about stopping the run. What would be the next logical thing that this team could do in this hierarchy, right? Run the ball, stop the run. It's cold. It might be windy. They're not showing it being windy now, but anything could change. I'm wondering how close they are to that lake effect. There's a lot of things that go into it. So my 4th thing on this list is run the ball. You have to run the ball. I'm being funny. I'm making jokes. I'm trying to make you laugh going into this primetime game, but I'm also dead serious. Run the ball. Just all 3 running backs. Don't run Achane into the ground. Have that healthy rotation at running back. You have Greg Dulcich out there. You have Julian Hill, who I was so hard on him, but he is doing very well. You have these big guys out there. Run the ball, because you know what? If you run it and you run it and you run it and you pound it down their throats, and then you start sprinkling in a little play action, you're rolling to it out, you're dumping it off, you're throwing screens, you're doing some RPOs, you throwing trickeration out there, then it starts to work. But if you're not running the ball, look at the Carolina Panthers game where Tua rolled out to his left and that pass rusher was like, I'm not even going for the running back. You have 19 yards and it's in the middle of the 3rd quarter. I'm going after the quarterback. And it was just a nightmare. Stick with the run, Mike, because there's too many times you have gotten cute time and time again and abandoned the run when you shouldn't have, or you start throwing these bubble screens, or you start doing stupid things. Just stick with the run. And my 5th and final thing on here, can you guess what it is, ladies and gentlemen? No mistakes. Gotcha. I gotcha. I set you up, and I just had the rope, and you fell for it, and I pulled the floor out on you, and you fell down, and just like Marv in Home Alone, you stood up and you cracked your back, and you said, "Wow, what a hole." I gotcha with this one. No mistakes. And it's no mistakes on all facets of this team, whether it's Tua Tagovailoa and his passes, whether it's the penalties on the offensive line for either false starting or holding or anything like that, whether it's on the defense for PI, whether it's fumbles, whether it's blown coverages, whether it's Mike McDaniel calling timeouts or we need to use timeouts. Mike McDaniel, again, conservative. Hey, we're going to kick the field goal, go in 17-0. That's smart. But then why the flip are you throwing a screen pass when you're 3rd and 10? Just run the ball, go in the half. Or then another screenplay that also was almost an interception, a pick 6 against Jalen Wright. If we were facing a better team than the New York Jets last week, we would have probably lost that game. We got lucky. No mistakes. Especially against the Steelers team, especially against Aaron Rodgers, especially against a team that is used to the weather. Like, you look at Aaron Rodgers and you might think to yourself, oh, blah, blah, blah. No, man, he went from Green Bay. This is probably a walk in the park going from Green Bay to here. No mistakes. Please. Sound football. Now, my thoughts and opinions on this game. There is the narrative of Tua Tagovailoa, right? He's horrible in games below 40 degrees. He has like an 0-4, 0-5, whatever you want to say, record. But not all necessarily is true, right? 2022 in Buffalo, it was 29 degrees. He went 17 for 30, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. 2021 at Buffalo, 35 degrees. He went 15 for 22, 109 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Not flashy numbers, but they aren't bad. At Green Bay, 37 for 46, 365, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. One of the touchdowns was very ugly, but it still counts. Here's my thing, though, right? You heard me raffle off those stats, and you're probably thinking, oh, here we go. Doug's going to start defending too. No. No. Because if you notice, those stats, those numbers are from a time ago that is not the Tua Tagovailoa we have right now. This Tua, I think, you can't put the game on him. Hence me saying 3 out of the 5 things to do to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers is you got to run the ball. it's at the point, and again, I talked about this in week 3 that I was like, it's time to move on from Tua. A lot of people are like, oh, you're so years late. Nah, I was talking about this 3 years ago when I talked about, not picking up his 5th-year option and not giving him the contract, because there's still big question marks that you can't pay a guy with that many question marks. So again, it's not I'm 6 years or 5 years too late. I've been talking about this since 2022, 2023. But you can't put the game on Tua. You can't put this game on Tua. You can't. You have to. This has to be a team win, right? Now, the last time the Miami Dolphins, and this might not be the last one, but they won in a game like this. I remember Ryan Tannehill in Pittsburgh in a snow game. I think that was the game where they tried like a bunch of laterals, and Antonio Brown stepped out. So we won that game by the skin of our teeth. Crazy, crazy game. To say it's impossible to win this game, I don't think so. I think this team is playing a little bit harder over the past couple weeks. And again, it started with the Buffalo win, right? That kind of really kicked things off. They fired Greer, and then the Buffalo win. And of course, yes, we faced Washington, we faced New Orleans, and then we faced the Jets. They're not all great teams, right? They're not bad. We faced the Jets with an undrafted rookie, but, the Saints went out and beat Tampa Bay, who I think is winning right now. I haven't checked. Kyle Pitts has 3 touchdowns. And of course, I'm facing him in fantasy. So this is our first test. And to me, this is where it starts of, now I'm going to look at Mike McDaniel, and now I'm going to make my final decision. Who the hell am I? But I'm just telling you, if I want him back. Now, it's all up to Stephen Ross, but it's if I want him back. I don't think the Dolphins win this one. I think they lose 24-10. I think it's the atmosphere, it's the weather, and it's prime time, and it's a lot of weight on this one. They cannot lose a game. The next 4 games, which they're all not that hard, right? You're going to face the Bengals next week, 1:00 in your throwbacks. And, they're not all world beaters. You got Joe Burrow sitting out here talking about it. He's not happy. Then you got Tampa, who, again, let me look it up to see what the score is against the Atlanta Falcons, who literally are beating them. And Kyle Pitts is absolutely killing me. They lost 29-28. Absolutely, absolutely crazy. They lost that game. You got to face Tampa. And then New England. What is New England going to do? Are they resting their starters? Are they fighting for that number 1 overall pick? Where's the Denver Broncos? So the next 4 aren't hard to win. But this is the point of the season where the Dolphins tend to falter. Is Mike going to keep them on track? Starts with Monday. I don't think he does. I don't think we win this one. We'll see. Obviously, I'll be live, and I'll be rooting for them to win the game. But I think 24-10 loss. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. I won't see you till Monday. Maybe I'll post a picture in the community tab, but I won't see you till Monday because, again, some of you, as you're watching this, my son is born. I have 2 children now. Crazy time in my life. I still will be doing this full time. I love doing this with you guys. It's just I'm going to probably look more tired than I already do. Love y'all. I will see you Monday Night Football. But other than that, like usual, stay classy. If ends up.